Well, hello again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as I shared about prayer and intercession. As I was sharing, I discussed list intercessors, and I mentioned that next week we're going to be learning about all 12 styles. So we're going to be fast and furious. In light of that, there were a few things I didn't share about list intercession, and just in case that's you, I want to cap this off here. So when I was sharing previously, I said that what I used was a prayer wall in my house, but other people use recordings, things like recordings or photos. There was a story about a lady that had a son who was in a certain industry that needed prayer. And everywhere she went, she would talk about her son and hand out photos for people to pray over. The other thing about these is that, as I mentioned, with my prayer list, my prayer wall, is I have categories. So some people, if they get a really large list, they might just pray for a category a day. And there are challenges that people that like the prayer list can encounter. One is very simply, they can have too many people on their list. And there's a couple of ways that you can deal with that. Number one is you can choose to only add people to the list that God assigns to that. Another thing that you can do is what some people refer to as prayers on the run. So if someone asks you to pray for them, instead of saying, I'll add you to my list, you can say, how about if we pray now? And so, to me, and again, every style is going to everyone's going to have a different passion for a different style or for more than one style. But this has been a blessing to me because, as I mentioned in the broadcast earlier tonight, I started off praying for people that needed healing. And we all have lots of folks that need that. But it branched out, and I got into, as I mentioned before, I got into praying for our nation, praying for the lost, praying for issues in our nation, praying for different concerns going on around the planet. So from there, it became like a springboard for me to launch into other styles of intercession. And so I just wanted to cap it off with that. It can launch you into many other areas of prayer intercession. And the last thing I want to say about it is that I'm a man of integrity. If you ask me to pray for you, if you ask me to pray for you on an ongoing basis, I like a list because I won't forget. So just wanted to hand that out to you. Before we launch, before we get marching on with everything else. But I pray that everyone has a great evening and a great week. See you next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard for Open Heaven Inspiration.